I need you to listen very, very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The President of the United States, the United States that's currently investigating Russia for election hacking and meddling and interference, Donald Trump is open to having Russian investigators come here to the United States and question American citizens. Okay. It's very important that I have complete and total clarity on this. The United States is investigating Trump and Russia for election obstruction and hacking and interference and manipulation. We've already indicted 25 Russians. Putin is doing nothing about it, just letting them sit in Russia, which is, of course, something he's allowed to do. There's no extradition deal. It's fine. But what Donald Trump is conceivably willing to do is to let Russians come here to the United States and interview American citizens who haven't been indicted of anything, including specifically former United States Ambassador Michael McFaul. Here it is, straight from the horse's mouth, Trump press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Thank you, Sarah. Russian authorities yesterday named several Americans who they want to question who they claim were involved in Bill Browder's quote-unquote crimes in their terms, including a former ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul. Does President Trump support that idea? Is he open to having U.S. officials questioned by Russia?
The president's going to meet with his team, and we'll let you know when we have an announcement on that.
For a second, is that a topic that came up in their conversation? Did President Putin raise this with President Trump?
There was some conversation about it, but there wasn't a commitment made on behalf of the United States, and the president will work with his team, and we'll let you know if there's an announcement on that front. Blake?
Thank you, Sarah. No commitment was made. No commitment was made. The right answer would be no, we're not letting Russian investigators question American citizens on American soil. They have no jurisdiction, they have no charges, and the answer is simply no. But instead, it was mentioned, and no commitment has been made as of this point. Russia reportedly also wants to question Christopher Steele, who, of course, is British. He's the author of the now infamous Trump-Russia dossier, and Russia would love American help in making that happen as well. Nothing suspicious, right? Just that Russia wants to question the guy who did the research and came up with historic dirt on the President of the United States of America, then candidate for the presidency of the United States of America. And former Ambassador Michael McFaul actually tweeted about this, saying, hey, White House press corps, can you confirm tomorrow with White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders that Putin discussed me personally in his one-on-one with Donald Trump? Did he suggest that I was part of some alleged money laundering scheme? And did Trump push back on this completely invented wacko idea? We've been throwing around the word treason with regard to actions where you'd really need to know a little more about the intent and the specifics of the law to say definitively whether it is, isn't, or might be treasonous. The mere idea that an American president would consider turning over a former ambassador to a foreign power for investigation of his actions, but not just actions that he undertook as a private citizen, specifically the actions that former Ambassador McFaul undertook as ambassador of the United States to Russia as part of his federal service, is absolutely and completely outrageous. And there are some Republicans and most Democrats who are completely outraged by this, although, of course, at this point, it seems that some Republicans will go along with absolutely anything that's proposed. What on earth must Putin have on Trump for this to even receive a glimmer of consideration, just a glimmer of consideration? And this all connects to a guy named Bill Browder. Bill Browder is a guy that Putin has been after for a long time, and the targeting of former Ambassador McFaul is more than likely related to that, since Putin says McFaul was in cahoots with Browder. This is, every indication is that this is a targeted personal vendetta by Vladimir Putin and by the President of the United States against Michael McFaul and specifically against Bill Browder. And shockingly, the president of the United States seems to be not only complicit, but actually eager to participate in this thing. Vladimir Putin has Donald Trump bending over backwards for him, and you had better get registered to vote. That's my sort of wrap it all up thought on this. If you're not registered to vote and you're not planning to vote on November 6th of this year, then you must not be paying attention or you simply don't care, because that is the level of absolute and total depravity that we're experiencing here. And a lot of this is part of a broader narrative that has been crafted. And that's what I want to talk to you about next.
Today's episode is made possible in part by BetterHelp.com/Pakman. I've spoken about the unfair and unfortunate stigma that there can be around therapy. There shouldn't be. And BetterHelp makes things even easier for you. If you've been thinking about getting involved and working with a therapist, you get access to fully licensed, experienced psychologists and therapists through your phone or computer. All you have to do is go to betterhelp.com/Pakman. You fill out a questionnaire. They match you with a counselor that'll work best for you. You can ask if you want that your therapist not be religious, if that is important to you. And at any point, if you think your therapist is not a good fit, you can switch and work with somebody else. It's less expensive than seeing a counselor in person, but BetterHelp also gives you unlimited access to your counselor. You can talk to them every day if you want. You will not get that with an in-person therapist. So go to betterhelp.com/Pakman. So easy to sign up and get started. We've put a link in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. Check it out, betterhelp.com/PAKMAN.